1 to 2 properties. Here's what I needed. I needed a combined inbox for and calendar, right? So I wanted, like, before, when I first started my Airbnb journey, it was such a pain to go through both Airbnb and Verbo or all these other, services that I was in, to see what the calendar looks like, doing the whole kind of calendar sync. Definitely needed an inbox and calendar combined. Airbnb and Verbo, these like pretty much makes most of my revenue. I think Airbnb is like probably like 90%, Verbo's the rest. So definitely needed both of those things in there. Listing detail sync. So if I, like, for example, like in the calendar, if I just block off a section, I want it to be synced across both Airbnb and Verbo. Smart lock integration, this is huge. I know, like, there's August that will do this for you, but I essentially wanted some way to automatically create smart locks based on based on reservations. That was a must-have. And then event-based messaging, and it's kind of sorted in the order of like importance here. Event-based messaging, essentially, when there's a new reservation, I wanted a message to automatically go out. When there's, like, the day before checkout, I wanted a message to go out, etc. So that's what I call event-based messaging, right? So as soon as you book, there should be an automatic message that goes out to the guest and says, hey, thanks for booking, blah 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 blah. Nice to haves. These are like, yeah, I'm okay with having these. Auto reviews. Again, like, not the end of the world if it doesn't have it, but like definitely super nice to have, where like at a given time, just send out a review based on based on like a default review template. Essentially, like, after 10 days after checkout, send out a review. Extra integrations, they're kind of nice to have, to be honest, but I don't really use these often, but it would be nice to have. Like Turno, if you want to do like automated cleaning, things like price labs for like the automated pricing, etc. Those kind of things. Automatic messaging. This is a little bit different for event-based messaging. Automatic messaging is usually like on a specific day, so there's no event, but like on a specific day, send out a message, right? Or like, hey, if the guest asks for this, and we'll do like some sort of AI or something like that, send out a message. AI integrations, again, is kind of related to the other one, so and so. Self-hosted site, again, nice to have. I don't really get a lot of reservations from my self-hosted site, so it's not end all be all, but definitely would nice to have. And then custom message codes, and these are like things like where you. All right, so why the switch? When I first started on Hospitable, it was $20 a month, and you got everything that you see in professional. Now it is $60 a month, so essentially almost $720 to run this. And to be honest, like, the stuff that you get as a small host does not warrant spending $720, right? The biggest thing I wanted was this, like, smart lock integration, for example. It's tucked away in $60 a month, whereas in Hostex, pricing was significantly more accurate, where for one property was $7 a month, right? So more or less everything that was coming in on professional, $7 a month, which translates out to what, like $84 a year, if my math is correct, right? And to me, that was much more manageable. So let's quickly go over Hospitable for those you're not familiar. As soon as you come in, you have like all your check-ins. You have your combined inbox here with like icons. For example, here's all the Verbo ones. Here's all the Airbnb ones. Calendar, unified calendar to see like all the guests, etc. Has everything that I wanted. And it really was the price point that broke it. Hostex, very similar. You have your inbox. It's slightly different in Hospitable, and this is more of like a preference thing. It's more email-like, where like you just see like all the messages up front. Hostex, it's more Airbnb-like, where you automatically have the first inbox message open, and then you see everything else. So you have your calendar, right? Unified calendar here. The only difference is by default, it's like collapsed like Airbnb. So I think Hostex took a lot of user experience from Airbnb. So like you can see, like if I had multiple properties, they'll be listed here, whereas Hospitable, it's kind of like your email calendar, like where it just opens up right to the giant calendar. But you can get the full calendar by going and clicking here, and you can see your full calendar opened. All right, let's see if it has everything I need. Right, does Hostex meet all my criteria? First up, combined inbox. I already showed this off. Has everything, like you see, Verbo, Airbnb, everything's there. I can comment, I can talk to guests across. Everything's good. Same with the calendar. Already kind of showed this off. I can go to this calendar view and see across. You have a bunch of Airbnb ones, verbal ones, and if I had a direct booking, I would have a direct booking in here as well. Listing detail sync. Yeah, I mean, we'll put an asterisk on this for a second, but yeah, if I update my pricing, general pricing rules, reservations, restrictions, etc., it will sync across. And you can see here, stop automatic availability syncing, deactivate if I wanted to disable syncing across the things. And then if I go to connected accounts here, you can see it's all, there's the syncing listings ones, it's all syncable. And then smart lock integrations, super simple. Right now I have my Slage connected, but you can connect bunch of different ones here, quick set, minute, wise, etc. So that's already given. And in the pin format, you can also set it to either random or the last 4 digits of the guest phone number. I have it as that, so it's easy for the guest to remember. So that's already there. Auto reviews, and I'll deep dive into each one, but I just want to quickly cover. So if I go to automation review, I can set up auto reviews here. Essentially I have 10 days after checkout at 1300 hours, which is 1 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern time. I have essentially and this is what I talked about with the on my kind of nice to have, the custom message codes. Guest first name was an excellent guest, left the place clean, would definitely host them again. When I send this out, they automatically will swap this out to the guest's first name. And then I also have I already have 2 of them. I have another event-based one. If a guest leaves me 5-star reviews, I will send out a message saying, thank you so much for staying with us. Please come visit us again. So those are kind of the event-based messaging. And then I also have other messaging. For example, I have a checkout reminder every day at 1400 hours, which is 2 o'clock. 1 day before checkout on 2 o'clock, I'll send a message to the guest saying, hi guest, first name. Again, these are the custom message codes that I mentioned. It will get replaced saying, hi, Nate, I hope that you're having a reservation. You have the checkout date. All these custom codes will come in. So let me cancel that. And then the other thing where I wanted automatic messaging, this is another version of that, where if a guest does not a new reservation, sorry, every Sunday at 1700, which is at 5 o'clock, I send out a message to the guest saying, hi, tomorrow Monday is trash day, please take out the trash. Or where our property is Monday's the trash day. So this makes sure that there's no giant piles of trash laying around. So I can send this out every Sunday, including the check-in day, just so I don't have to memorize to send out to the guests. And then finally, when there's a new reservation, I send out a message. This is again back to event-based messaging. I send out, hello guests, blah 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 blah. Here's some things, blah, etc. And then finally, 1 day before check-in, I send out the door code, or that's not the right one. 3 days before check-in, I send out the door code. So this is where the smart lock code generation and the door code comes in. Super handy. So for the other stuff, that was nice to have. Self-hosted site has that built in. You can do your own domain, add the listings you want, put it on Google vacation rental, etc. So I'll quickly, mind you, I did not spend as much time. I didn't spend any time on here. So It's very basic, but essentially you have your what city, check-in, check-out, add guests, properties that you can check out, boom, and essentially go through. It's just very generic self-hosting, self-hosted site. For integrations, we have not as many, but you do have Price Labs and Rate Genie. For those of you that use automated pricing from, or want to use automated pricing, you do have those. So it pretty much has everything that I want on the nice to have side. Extra integrations is in custom options, channel pricing ratio. So you have like your booking sites, etc. You also have custom channels. So you have Agoda, Ctrip, Tugia, Halfy, etc. So it has more than I need. The other nice to have that we have here is the AI stuff. So for messages, for example, payment overdue, it's not the greatest, right? So it does have like, this is just like an automated message from Verbo, for example, and it's like me trying to apologize for it, which isn't the case, but it does have other ones. Let's see, I think Denise, yeah. So like I apologize, like these are all automated from essentially ChatGPT. This is funny because it has it for an Airbnb support as well. Hospitable also has this. If I go to here, I should be able to suggest with AI. Here you go. Like it's a little bit better, improve with AI, etc. So both of them have it. I use it once in a while. It's okay. So let's talk about the pros and cons. This is where we're going to do a side-by-side comparison between Hospitable and Hostex. For the pros, has all the basic functionality that I need. As a small host, it has everything that I need to do to run a successful STR. And it's priced really, really well. It's priced at $10 a month. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's like the top end. It's priced at $7 a month for if you do like a full year, which is priced really, really accurate. That comes out like $84 a year, right? Fantastic mobile app. Is significantly better than Hospitable's ones. Those of you that watch Hospitable's their like weekly town hall, you'll probably have seen me on those town halls numerous times asking about like, hey, can we update the mobile app? Can we update the mobile app? Because Hospitable's mobile app was, and it still is, a second-class citizen almost, right? Whereas Hostex mobile app's fantastic. And the other one that I really like is their team app, and I'll give you an example of the team app. So here's like an email that you get. Let me see if I can show it off right here. Here's an email that you get, and what this is like every time there's a task or like a check-in, check-out, maintenance, etc. Like you can define it. You get these, whoever is assigned this task gets this email, and you can look at the task, and this is what it ends up looking like. And they get this like, you don't need to log in, you don't need an account, you don't need anything. It sends a message, and if whoever gets it can share it with, if they have like employees or whatever, and it has just like a rundown of all the check-ins, right? So you no longer need to like tell your cleaning staff like, here's this calendar that you got to follow. Like everything is there, and you like there's a calendar view on there, so they can say, okay, like they're going to check out on the 9th, and then we have another check-in. It's super, super great. So there are cons in here. They don't have as much messaging events. So let's go to automation and we'll show this off. So we have messaging. If I do a new rule, I only have 3 events that I can select from. New reservation request. So like that's an inquiry on Airbnb, new reservation, and a reservation's canceled. Hospitable on the other hand, so I go to guest experience, messaging rules, add new. You have ton more events. So they have like new pre-approval, new request to book, reservation, cancellation, expired pre-approval, inquiry, special offer, payment issue, right? Significantly more. I don't get a lot of inquiries, right? That I can automate, right? Inquiries like, hey, it's usually it's a custom thing that I have to send out. So I don't really, it is a negative where like I can't send out an automated message, but it isn't like end all be all. Same thing with expired pre-approval. I do have an automation that I used to send out, like new pre-approval, saying like, "Hey, I want to confirm that you're pre-approved." Blah 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 blah. But I rarely pre-approve. Most of my bookings have been like instant books, and so like, yeah, I'm losing this functionality, but I don't use it often. And this is going to be the theme of this. I don't use it often enough to justify almost $53 extra a month, right? Because the price of Hostex is $7, price of Hospitable is almost $60. So I don't use it as much to justify that cost. Next up is it's missing some smart codes. So on the theme of like messaging, there's these smart. Let's go. Just click on one of these real quick. So if you click on this thing, these are all the possible smart codes that you can use. So like property name, property location, door lock code, boom, 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 boom. Last 7, last 4. Essentially, it just hot swaps them with the guests. Hospitable has a lot more of them. For example, in Hospitable, if I go to list all, you can do like how many, like you can have a variable for beds, and based on your property, you will automatically substitute in like, oh, this is how many beds we have. You have your check-in hour, check-in month. So you could like, for example, like my Hospitable message was definitely more tailored. So if I say new check-in, where is it? Check-in instructions. So I have like, hi, guest name. It will be my pleasure to check in, listing full address, and then I have like, you're welcome to check in from check-in hour using your smart lock code. This code will only work from check-in hour, check in, check out. And so and there's another one that Hospitable has. You can preview these messages. So if I send it to Mary, this is how it would look. Hi Mary, it will be my pleasure. Here's the address, here's the time, here's the thing, etc. Hostex does not have as many of those. It's lacking. For example, it doesn't have. It has check-in date, but doesn't have like check-in time. So if I want to say, hey, like you're allowed to check in at this hour, they don't have that. Again, Hospitable is clearly better at that because it has so much more, but it isn't worth $53 extra a month, right? Like, yes, this is cool, to have, but I can also just like hard code it in here. So if I look at my reservation one 3 days before, I just have like, hey, I just don't have that message, right? Like I could just hard code it in here, check-in date because my check-in is at 4 p.m. Eastern, like, so I can just type that in and we're good to go, right? I don't need to, I don't really need it to be a variable because my properties don't change. And so this is why, like, for hosts that have like multiple properties, like let's say 20 different properties where they have different check-ins for each one, like, yeah, that would make sense. But like for small hosts like myself, my check-in does not change on any of my properties. So we briefly talked about this. Hostex only has 2 integrations, Price Labs and Rate Genie. Hospitable has a ton more, beyond pricing, buoy, crafted stays, host kit. You have like MailChimp integration, Superhub for like guest verification, bunch of these things, right? I'll be honest, I don't use any of them, right? Like I literally only use Price Labs for my automated pricing and like nothing else, right? So I couldn't really justify, again, not for me, right? It might be for somebody else, not for me. And then the other one, which again, if you manage multiple listings, this might be a problem. Hostex does not sync images to Airbnb. So if you want to update images, like so here, I'll go on my property here, properties. Hospitable does allow you to do this. If I go like, details, I can add images here and it will sync across to all my other properties. Hostex does not do this. Is it a negative? Absolutely. But do I update my pictures often? The answer is no. I may update like once every 6 months or whatever, right? If I update some list amenities. So like, again, it goes back to what we were talking about. It just doesn't make sense. Like it's not $53 worth of an issue. So folks, that pretty much wraps everything up for me. Hopefully I explained why I switched from Hospitable to Hostex, all the benefits that I'm getting out of Hostex. And if you're on the fence about it, go try it out. They have like a 15-day trial, and if you want to like continue on, like pricing wise, it's literally $4.9 per property per month. If you do yearly, if you do on a monthly basis, $7.03. So yeah, try it out and see, and I guarantee you it'll make your life so much easier. I am not affiliated with this company. I didn't get paid for this. This was just literally a random host, a small host that wanted to make a video and hopefully educate people as to, why Hostex might be the right fit for them. All right, peace out.